All right, week 3 matchups. We've got Zeusimon with the Merry Going Christmas and the Mystery Racer XXX. No one knows his identity. It's a complete mystery.
Mystery indeed, Lee. It's also a mystery if we have a stream up, perhaps. Oh, no longer.
All right, and it looks like a very typical lead matchup here with the Clef Key against the Skarmory.
Bet you $1 they stealth rock.
It's going to be spikes out of the Clef Key.
Ah,
But yeah, I do imagine that they trade some entry hazards here. The paralysis being a very good thing to go ahead and get up on that Skarmory. Oh my god,
ooh.
immediately switching to Toxic. He's a madman. The Lumberry covering the Toxic, but there's the paralysis on it, and it's paralyzed. It can't move. The Racer X is just drifting through this corpse. But he goes for a Toxic, expecting
Hmm.
another swap, perhaps. Just getting a little greedy there, not getting any of his spikes up. There he goes. There's the tail glow, though, and this is going to be the issue.
Yeah, RacerX is going to really need to be careful with his next choice. Could get lucky with a paralyzed proc, but this Manaphy can get out of control fast. It's already on its way to.
Oh, and there's the Vaporeon with the
Ooh,
water absorb for it.
solid. Someone did their homework.
And now with that paralysis, the speed's going to be in favor of the Vaporeon.
Well, if I remember correctly, Manaphy can learn a grass type move coverage here. So curious if it's coming down the pipe.
Oh, and he just goes for more tail glows, trying to set up even more. A very unpredictable play, just bringing in the Metacham, ready to go ahead and get going with some damage.
Yeah, I would imagine we're going to see a fake out here.
Mega
But
Evolve into Fake Out for the safety.
I'm
But
curious what you do if you're Zeus right now. Do you just keep trying to capitalize on this, or do you go ahead and just accept your losses here and swap out? Because I don't see this going very well for the man. If um,
yeah, Skarmory's definitely very nice for this, just to be able to absorb those physical attacks. Especially if it's got like Omnipelt or something, and yeah, he just
yeah,
swaps
there
out.
it is. There it is.
Resisting the fake out, but leftovers on this reindeer blue Kobe, as everyone knows the worst character in One Piece.
I am very curious to see how Kabalion does against a chain. So, uh,
Oh, we're
well,
not gonna find out just yet.
and we are now disappointed.
Yeah,
He has
I would have liked to
protect.
have seen. Yeah, he was
Wild.
baiting for the high jump kick. I would have liked to have seen a fighting
Interesting.
move come out to try and threaten it, but clearly that was a bait.
Yep.
And Racer XXX just apparently knows everything. He's got the script. His chaotic play is just so hard to keep up.
Another swap. That is strange. I don't think he's gonna.
Yeah, no, he's trying to get that Landorus in with as many turns of that sandstorm as possible to try and go ahead and
I
get some
see. No,
sweeping
you're
action
right.
going. Baiting out the fighting move, resisting it with the flying.
You got to swap to your steel Pokemon, your steel flyer, right? Your Zeusimon.
It's hard to
Yep.
say. This thing's just going to be able to knock
Yeah.
holes in quite a lot, but there's the knockoff. Go ahead and removing those leftovers, but we see the life orb tick. The Landorus is on a timer.
Well, and we haven't seen it. Is his passive? Does it buff only all of his attacks, or is it only ground type attacks? Well, regardless, that was a strong way to force him out. Getting a toxic on Landorus is huge.
Yeah, just getting that chip damage. There's the
Mm-hmm.
roost.
Scarmage is able to stall him out.
At the cost of its leftovers, the Skarmory's definitely battered and beaten with the paralysis and the leftovers there. But you definitely want to see more out of a Landorus, typically.
And using the time that he has there to go ahead and defog. Interesting choice.
Yeah, the big thing is that the Klefki's still alive, but here comes the Metacham to just go ahead and try and pick through it. He's got to go for something besides the fake out. He can just sit in with the fake out.
He might even be able to sit in even a high jump kick. I'm just curious if you're Zeusimon and you're in the tank right now, are you going to click roost or are you looking to swap? I think you got to click roost.
Yeah, 33%'s definitely scary. The
And
typing,
paralyzed.
yeah, giving the Metacham the definite speed advantage there.
I think you risk it for the biscuit, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see him swap. I just don't know if I see anything else on his team except Latios, yeah, who wants to eat a high jump kick. Ooh,
Oh my God, 90% still the huge power of the
Jesus!
Metacham. Just
Oh my God, I
massive.
need to call my mom.
There's the bullet
Oh,
punch. He's got the priority to finish off.
and I will say that we are seeing a very, very strong showing from
There's the
RacerX in
protect.
this
There's the high
match.
jump kick.
Ooh,
He knew
big.
it was there. 50% health lost. But now he can go for it again. Does
I
Zeusimon
think
go
you
for the
just click
double
it.
protect? Does he switch into the Skarmory to try and tank it or sack?
I think both these riders need to play a game of chicken here, and I think Racer X got to click high jump kick again. I think Zeus has got to press protect and hope for the best. But I have a feeling that Racer X is going to look to swap.
Yeah, the unpredictable nature of his play would be leaning towards a
Yep,
swap here. And yeah, there's the
there
cleft
it
key.
is.
Taking the Iron Head, not great, but respectably.
Well, it gives him a chance to continue to spread some paralysis, get his stealth rocks back out, get his spikes, all that.
Yeah,
Yep.
but there's the
Zeus
reason you
taking the
keep the Skarmory.
opportunity. Yep, and Zeus is gonna be able to roost right up through this. He doesn't care. Lefkey can't threaten out the Skarmory with his flash cannon. Yeah, so interesting.
It does get the special defense drop, which is nice. But yeah, with that 10% damage, it's not going to be enough to kill. There's the swap. Yeah, just spamming flash cannon, just trying to push that damage through. But not really what you want to do with Klefki. That would have been a great time to go ahead and get some spikes back up. Just trade your hazards around, and there's the
Ooh,
paralysis hack,
and
the
the
big payout
RNG
signal.
gods say no. Brutal.
It does make it more of an opportunity for him to swap, but no, just sets up the tail glow.
I would expect that he's got a, I believe it's Power Ball. Man. He's got a grass type move.
Energy ball.
Energy Ball. There we
Here
go.
comes the Metacham. Another tail glow.
Oh
He's
my
being very
God,
greedy
he's
with
a
it.
madman. He is
And
a
the wave comes
madman.
through. The Metacham set up to go off yet again. Going with the fake out this turn.
I
Good
just don't think
damage.
the Manaphy can take a high jump kick at this. I think the high jump kick will kill it.
It certainly cannot, but the question is what can? You're gonna lose something to a high jump kick here, is how I'm thinking about it.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, and the big payout, that huge power high jump kick, just able to blow through most
Well, I think he
anything.
got the Corral Kabalion. Oh man,
Yeah,
he's
now
going
he's
for it.
gonna.
He's gonna race him.
Yeah, he is gonna be faster on the Aerodactyl without any antics, and be able to pop those aerial aces that'll be super
Yep.
effective. But Racer X has a large team that he can swap through to try and get some action going. But no, just going for the super effective bullet punch, 71%, but
Yep.
losing his mega to it. I would have liked
Yeah.
to have seen him try and get a paralysis on that thing with the cleft key or something. Yeah, it looks like he's going to go for that now. But
It's hard
now
to
it's a
say
very
if that
readable
was.
play.
Yeah, it was hard to say if that was worth the trade. Um, because this Mega Aerodactyl can. He's got some moves. He can. He could legitimately sweep two or three of these Pokemon. Vaporeon's probably gonna need to get him out, threaten him. But here we are with Zeus getting paralyzed again. Well, not paralyzed.
Yeah,
Um,
he's definitely making the play of he knows he needs to protect that Aerodactyl to finish off the rest. It's got a
yep.
long way to go.
Yeah, we
And
are
and
seeing Zeus on the ropes for sure right now.
but a
Good
very
pressure from
respectable
Racer.
play by Racer X where he knows that he
Ooh,
has to go for that paralysis, but Mammoth Swine, a lot of offensive power still on Zeusimon's side. bringing out the Tyranitar. The problem is all of Zeusimon's team right now operates inside of a sandstorm, and Tyranitar being a special wall is just not going to be able to deal with the physical presence that's left.
Right. Mamoswine's going to work pretty well against Anatar here too. So we'll see what happens here. I think if you're Zeus, you're clicking a stab move. I think you're probably going to roll over on this Tyranitar here. I don't think we're going to see a swap out of RacerX again here. He's going to look to plant his feet.
Yeah, he's got to get something going. He's got to remove another unit from Zeusimon's team to really break that core four. We've seen that Zeusimon's lost all of his special offensive power, but RacerX not seeming to have like a great dedicated physical wall to be able to take advantage of what's left.
Definitely got one or maybe even both our players here in the tank. And we see a swap. Interesting. Did not expect that out of Zeus. But I don't know if Mamoswine would really love to take in a rock slide like that. Probably would have been able to withstand it, but uh, looks like Zeus is making some safe plays here and trying to keep that the momentum in his court.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. He's trying to keep that offensive pressure, possibly just predicting an earthquake and trying to get the Skarmory back in to set up with some roost and get it back in the game, but losing it in turn.
Hard to say where you go from here. I could see Kabalion being a play. Um, we haven't seen anything out of him other than what close combat and tech.
And protect, but both of those moves immune.
Yep.
Really, both of them because you install out the sandstorm. But again, you don't care about it. It only works for you. All of his Pokemon immune to it at this point.
Yeah, I think we're going to really need to see Kabalion pulling his weight here to be able to pressure out or get rid of this Tyranitar.
I think
But
it's just a pretty clean get rid of because I don't know what Racer X wants to swap into it in order to save the Tyranitar. What's he even saving the Tyranitar for?
hmm, there it is. There it is.
And just let the traps go.
Yep.
He's got to bring out that dragon and try and see if it can blast through the rest of the team. Possibly go to the Vaporeon to try and stall it out a
I
little bit more.
I think I would have gone to the Vaporeon. I think I would have gotten him in to see if he can make some magic happen with some Scalds. But I don't know what else he's packing on the Vaporeon. But unfortunately, it's not going to be the anchor that he needs clear this out. So it's all on Kyurem Black.
Yeah, I mean, if Kyurem can just get enough damage through, the Scald can finish off the rest, being very good against a lot of them. The Kobe being the thing that resists the Scald, but also can attack into Kyurem's dragon typing very well. But with that drop from the first close combat, can it deal 76% to a Kyurem Black and then potentially survive the clapback if it can't? Yeah, just
Can.
going for it and
It
it
definitely
can.
can. It absolutely can, for sure. I've seen enough karate episodes of guys splitting ice with their bare hands. A fucking Kabalion can totally, punch an ice dragon face. So.
Yeah, he does
And a
have hooks
thunder
though.
wave. Man, insult to injury. Just really trying to seal the deal here on game one.
Yeah, possible heal bell on the Vaporeon, so the Thunder Wave will just allow the Cobalion to go in for a toxic into
Ooh.
steel. It's just
Gotta
not
know
what you
your
want to do.
typings. Gosh, you got
Uh,
just press skull, dude.
and the bigger thing is when you're looking at the field that you're going against right
Mm,
now, you really need to either set up your wishes to keep some healing going, or just mash the Scald because the Scald attacks well into all three of them as opposed to the
yep.
Toxic, which he has immunity points for. But that's going to be game one. We'll be going into game two.
Well, and something I'll say is Zeus has yet again brought a very interesting Pokemon to the table. Balian I don't know if I've ever seen a more of a support-based Kabbalion, which is the way I would categorizing that build. He had Protect, he had Thunder Wave, Close Combat, and I don't know if we saw a third or fourth. Did we see one? I don't know, but was pretty effective there at the end.
Yeah, yeah, I like to see the action out of it. It is good offensive pressure.
I would imagine he's probably got a Steel type
It's
sitting in
it's
the.
great. Yeah, it's great to see him baiting that high jump kick with the typing and having the protect on there. It's very good play to see things like that. All right, Racer X just off to the races, leading with the meta jam.
Yeah,
But
I think if
Marco, I
you're,
guess, a hard counter to it in
I
many
think you
ways.
get your chip damage in and you get out, man. That's what's this is right now. But we'll see. You know, Racer X might know something I don't.
Yeah, the big downfall of the Metacham here is going to be its speed, and it's unable to get any momentum going without having the paralyzed support from the clef key is the big issue I'm seeing.
Well, we saw how effective going. Oh, and he goes with Chiron Black. That is interesting.
Yeah, and out comes the stealth rock.
Well, Chiron Black can learn. There it is. Yep. I was gonna say he can learn some very powerful moves that Skarmory is not gonna want to sit there and trade blows with. Um,
Yeah,
I
but
think if
seeing the
you're,
damage off of that, if this next one hits, it's going to be a roll if it kills or not. It did 53%, which is what the Skarmory is sitting at.
I don't think it matters. I think you just jam damage right now if you're Racer X. I think you've got a really good position to start building some momentum here early on. And Zeus isn't going to want to swap Mini Mon into him, take that kind of damage. Honestly, I don't know who you swap to. It might be straight to the Kabbalion. Best.
I mean, if you're expecting another fusion bolt, you can go into a quick Mamoswine, and then it very much depends on the Mamoswine's move pool. Yeah, definitely in the think tank. Oh, he's gonna let it go to the roll, and it does not go in his favor.
Ooh. It's a spicy meatball right there. Um, Kyron Black just showing why he is still a threatening Pokemon even at his point level in our league. Uh, Amazing stats. The dude is a house. Um, but now what does Zeus do? I think you've got a couple opportunities to swap in to something get outspeed it. Maybe you swap in with Latios, which one? They're the same.
Yeah, that's where
Um,
the issue with the Cobalion is, because I would like to initially counter this with the Cobalion in close combats, but he wants to try and save the Cobalion to be able to counter the Mega.
mhm,
It's very difficult to
there it
counter
is.
two with one, but yeah, he's just gonna try and outrace it with the Dragon, possibly go for some Dragon versus Dragon damage.
Well, and if Racer X is got his head on the swivel, then he just swaps to Klefki. Does not. Wow.
Yeah, gotta
Very sad
utilize
to see
that
that
fairy
happen.
typing. The
God,
Klefki
very
would have
sad to see
been
that.
Yeah, the Klefki would have been great to come out there and start spreading some status or just
Yep,
getting some spikes out, getting that,
yep.
bits of advantage back in.
But having missed that opportunity, Klefki is still the right swap. So I'm glad to see him get him out. And here comes a paralyzed down the pipe. Yep. And immune. Yep. Forgot about Mamoswine's typing ice ground.
Yeah, you really got to pay attention to that stuff, especially when people
Mm,
are going into best of threes. We saw the Mamoswine do that before, just being able to Earthquake the Klefki. And we've seen that Zeusimon knows to swap the Mamoswine into the Klefki. But now we're back in the decision. Here comes a high jump kick. Who wants to take it?
yeah, I don't even think you click fake out at this point. I think you go straight for the high damage. Your Latios is the only thing that I think you can swap into without getting wrecked. Um,
Yeah, the fake out's very tempting with that toxic just to play the damage, but that's if Zeusimon's deciding to give up the Mamoswine. The high jump kick also can just hit it very hard.
well,
Uh,
RacerX is desperate right now to get back to this game. Um, he's had a tremendous opportunity to control the pace. Unfortunately, just wasn't able to keep up with Zeus's game plan here. He's getting outplayed. So I think best thing when in doubt, press damage. And I think high jump kick is probably the smartest thing. Something tells me we're gonna see a fake out.
the other issue is going to be that the Mamoswine can sit in there and just go for the chip damage and go for an ice shard, and the fake out delays that a little bit. But it's not going to stop it. It's going to do enough damage to fully kill it. But here comes the blue
Yep.
Kobe. There's the fake out. And now he's got to realize that a protect is coming here. He's seen it happen. It's literally happened within minutes of this point in time.
So what do? Do you swap to Vaporeon, start just jamming some Scalds, or go with Tyranitar and try to get your Sandstorm up?
Oh
Oh
my God, and he
no!
does it. Just not paying attention to the game that he's even playing. I think going into the Vaporeon and trying to get some Scalds out would be great. But the good news is he's in the same position where he can now just click it again. Like you said before, he has to get back into this game, so a double protect chance is an opportunity to get back in the game.
I'll be honest with you. I love the odds on a double. Ooh,
But no,
and call him for
deciding
the
to,
swap.
yeah.
This is a tough matchup.
Well, the question
I
now
think
is, does the Vaporeon have the Ice Beam? But I doubt it because it
it doesn't.
has
There's no way.
the Toxic, and the Toxic
Hmm.
misses just show like you got to stay on top of the plays. You can't let that advantage just swing on you like that. I would have loved to have
Yeah.
seen him realize that this isn't a great matchup and go in for the Tyranitar to go ahead and set up his Sandstorm to potentially get some offense going. Tyranitar just being able to wall this thing off, but it seems like RacerX is just realizing these things just a turn too late. Now just going back into the meta champ. Is he going to go for fake out chip and then just get out sped and killed? Is that the plan here?
Honestly, we're seeing the beginning of the end here. Right, he's going to have a priority. So I am curious if he's going to be able to still force some. 2%. Nope, not enough. That was risky for the biscuit.
Yeah,
But
it will trade with the life orb damage, but that was really the best Pokemon to try and set up your Sandstorm against. It's going to be difficult to do that now to get your Wombo combo going.
yeah, I think that Racer X has missed some crucial opportunities to pump the brakes and to actually put up um, some kind of stopping force to stop Zeus from just running all over him. But it's a 2-4 game right now, and he's got Manaphy. It's going to be rough for Racer X to try to pull this out. I'm curious to see what he can do against this man.
Yeah, the difficult thing here is against the Manaphy, I'm tempted to leave the Tyranitar in and push damage through and just try and special wall it off. But
I
then
think you
I'm
have
going
to.
to want to reset the Sandstorm again in order to get it out with the Landorus. But no, he just goes straight into the Landorus and dies to a
Yep.
Scald immediately. A
Yep.
bit of a 50-50 on if there was the setup there, but you got to use your special balls to fight things that are special.
I think I've read a book similar to how this game is going, and it was labeled as a Greek tragedy. It's just we've seen Racer X bring some very promising pressure to the beginning of the game, but then just falling short towards the mid and end of these matches. And
Yeah,
Zeus is one that is going to find those opportunities, and he's going to capitalize on them, and that's exactly what we've seen today. So,
and that's going to be it for our game one.
yep.
Good game to the players.